What's up, guys, and welcome to the Answering Customer Emails section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today, we're going to be going through exactly how to answer customer emails, how to deal with customers on your Shopify store. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing is dealing with customers, okay? So you're going to get a lot of different customer emails, either talking about something, complaining, or asking a lot of various types of questions, mostly regarding to their products. So you're going to have a lot of angry customers, and you can resolve those problems very easily by following these type of steps, okay? You're going to get these typically about shipping times or packages not arriving because people just want their stuff. That's their biggest problem. It's like, hey, when is my stuff going to get here? Sometimes they're going to be not so nice. Sometimes they're going to be actually pretty nice and respectful about their questions and stuff like that. So you need to definitely deal with these customers and explain to them the shipping times from your warehouse. So obviously you're not going to say, oh yeah, we're just shipping them from China. You want to explain we have warehouses all around the world and that we are shipping them to you in the fastest possible time that we can. And explain to them, your shipping times are a little bit longer due to that, but it should be there within, 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks with ePacket. And another thing that a lot of people ask is like, hey, just when is it going to be here? One thing I recommend you do, definitely do this, is to check the tracking code for them and then give the estimated delivery time. This is something people really like to hear if they're having problems with the shipping time. They're like, when is my package going to get here? They like to see that you can offer a tracking code. And when you ship with ePacket, which is what I recommend you guys to do so you don't have to have as many problems, you ship with ePacket, people will typically get their products and they also have that tracking code as well. They'll typically get their products in a relatively decent amount of time. It is still a little longer than like Amazon or something like that, but with this, they get the tracking code and you can give them the delivery time. So I recommend you go to check the tracking code for them. You say, oh, it's going to be there in about 7 days, or it should be there in about a week or two, or 1 more week. And then they'll be excited to hear that because they know that their package is on the way. And another thing is if they complain like, oh, I didn't ever get it, and you check the tracking code and something's messed up with the product, which this does happen occasionally because you're shipping from China. Sometimes products get lost to getting to the US, all those kind of problems. Send them another product, if anything. If there's any kind of problem there and you're going to check the tracking code through AliExpress and it shows that there's no product or anything like that, all you have to do is say, hey, we're going to send you another one. It should be there soon. If anything, just keep the other product if it does eventually arrive to you. I had that multiple times where someone would end up getting the product like a week later and I just ordered them another because the products are typically pretty cheap that you're selling on your store anyway, to where it doesn't really hurt your overall profit margin, and it will help you get long-term customers as well as just keeping people happy. And we're going to get more into the reasons of why you need to keep people happy later in this module, but that's what you want to do for dealing with customers, answering those customer emails. Be respectful, be nice, treat yourself as a professional store, as a professional business, and be good to your customers because that's going to help you in the long run. So anyway, guys, I will see you in the next section. What's up, guys, and welcome to the Dealing with Returns section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today, we're going to be going over exactly how to deal with returns if customers ask for that. They email you, hey, I want to return this product, they're unhappy, some sort of thing like that. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. So a customer asked to return their product, right? This is a problem. Oh no, someone emails you, they're like, hey, I want to return this, I didn't really like it, yada yada, I had some problems with it, something like that, okay? The thing that you have to say to them is first, apologize, saying that you're sorry and that you don't accept returns or exchanges because you're a dropshipping store, right? You don't have an address and you don't hold extra product at your house because you're dropshipping and you're sending things through AliExpress, Oberlo, all that kind of setup. So you don't really typically have returns or exchanges unless you were to order them to your house and do bulk ordering and stuff like that, which you can do to save some money. But most of you guys that are doing this don't have actual product on hand and you don't want to have returns. You don't want to accept them, right? So you just have to say, hey, we don't accept returns, sorry. But what you can do is then say, hey, I could offer you a refund, if you're unhappy, stuff like that. That is typically what you want to do, is instead of saying, oh, sorry, you're screwed, because that can lead to chargebacks and problems like that. We're going to be going over more of that in the next section, but you want to keep the customer happy at the end of the day. And if it's offering them a refund, go ahead and do it because it's going to keep people happy. And that's going to overall keep your store in a good position, because you don't want unhappy customers. That's the problem, okay? So you have to solve those problems, and that'll keep your store nice and running well. This is typically uncommon with people asking for returns. A lot of people just get it and they're like, oh, cool, I got my product, whatever. And even if they don't really like it that much, they still keep it. So I've had, I think, 1 or 2 of these occasionally. It's, like I said, very uncommon, but it can happen, and you need to know how to deal with it. So that's how you deal with it. You apologize, you offer a refund, anything like that to keep the customer happy. So that's all for dealing with returns. In the next section, we're going to be going over chargebacks and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, guys, I will see you in the next section. What's up, guys, and welcome to the chargebacks or refunds section of the Shopify Mastery course. Today, we're going to be talking about how to deal with chargebacks or refunds or any of that kind of stuff. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. So for chargebacks or refunds, you want to avoid these things like the plague. They are a detriment to your Shopify store. You want to stay away from them as much as possible. So how do we do this? How do we deal with these kind of problems? Okay, so some customers may submit a chargeback or refund. This is a big issue for you because it can impact your overall store's reputation and stuff like that with Shopify payments. If a lot of people are doing chargebacks, once you have over a certain percent, they're going to withhold a percent of your money for a certain period of time, which is not great because you want to get paid, as quick as possible so you can have that cash flow in order to buy more products when people buy things on your Shopify stores. So you want to make sure that you avoid these. And with refunds as well, some people do that on PayPal, which is a problem as well. So the thing is with these people submitting them, the sad thing is with chargebacks, you really have no way to avoid them. Same thing with refunds, although PayPal refunds, I've typically been able to actually wait them out. And as long as you're in contact with the buyer, depending on their communication levels, sometimes you're able to win the PayPal cases where people do that and then they try and get a refund. You can actually win those a lot of times with PayPal, but with chargebacks on credit cards, debit cards, you're usually screwed. The best way to avoid these problems is to just give good customer service. That's typically when people are like, oh, I didn't get my product yet. Chargeback, refund, I'm never going to get it. And then they end up getting it still. They just didn't wait long enough or be patient with you or email you or anything like that. So that's why it's so important to give good customer service, like I talked about in the last couple of sections, because if you give good customer service, you're going to be able to avoid these chargebacks and refunds a lot of the time. If you give good customer service, you won't have anywhere near as many chargebacks or refunds because people will get their questions answered. If they have problems with the shipping times, they won't then go and file a chargeback or refund and stuff like that. So you'll be able to keep your money, because the sad thing is with these sucky chargebacks, you also get charged a $15 fee on top of losing all the money. So you're losing more. You're losing the product money, the fee money, and the actual money of profit. So you're really losing out on a lot of money if you get chargebacks. So you want to avoid them as much as possible by giving good customer service. Same thing with PayPal refunds as well. So guys, that is all for this section, as well as the Shopify Mastery course. If anything, be sure to check out the resources section below, as that gives you a lot of different links to tools and stuff like that you can use to build your Shopify store. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.